What's up, y'all? Coach Wood here. And today, continuing on with our self-care, let's begin to understand foam rolling your quads. So if you don't have a foam roller, I highly suggest you get one. That's for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're an athlete, non-athlete. If you have muscles, which is everyone, you should at least own a foam roller, especially considering that they are very, very cheap. You can get a few on Amazon pretty quickly. So first thing is you're going to notice that when I started, I'm going to kind of press and tilt my butt really hard. So most people, when they get on the foam roller, if you go back, you'll notice that the first thing I did is I kind of sat in my low back. And that's kind of traditionally where most people go to. And so you want to make sure that you're actively pressing your hips into the actual foam roller. So you want to think, if I'm stuck in an anterior tilt, I need to posteriorly tilt into the foam roller. Now, when you're on it, you need to take your time. You can either lean left or right if you want a little more pressure on one leg or the other. But the goal is not to just grind it out. We need to find those uncomfortable spots, and you're going to see me start breathing deep. Whoa, yeah, that's an uncomfortable spot. And that's what you should do, is you should understand that the only way to get these muscles to lengthen is to breathe into them. Now, sometimes you get an area that's really, really tough and for whatever reason just won't let go. So sometimes we need a little something more advanced. And this is how you floss the actual quadriceps. So if you're pressing into the foam roller and you're finding that you've got plenty of lengthening, you're very comfortable, this would be the next progression. And then here's a single leg variation of that. So you can lean on one side and actually target one leg at a time. Now, take your time with this. Remember, this is your body that we're talking about. So it's not like some ground beef that you're making a meatball out of, right? It's still attached to you. So you should be trying to breathe into yourself and trying to create a lengthening signal while you're moving through these motions. So you're probably more than likely going to be holding your breath. All right. A lot of people, when they feel discomfort, they hold their breath. And it's important to understand that how we deal with discomfort is we actually have to breathe into it. So yes, it relates to everything else outside the gym, which is great too. So a little more advanced now, so that this is the inside of the thigh to hit the adductor a little bit, and also the inside of that quad tip. This is going to be a little more uncomfortable than the last one. So each preceding roll that I'm showing is a little more uncomfortable than the last, or it requires maybe a little bit more technical work. Because the other thing is, when I'm offset on this, it's actually very hard to keep my body straight. But that's okay. Just like I was doing before, I'm going to floss it back and forth on the inside. This is a really uncomfortable position, y'all. It's the inside of your thighs. So be extremely patient. Take your time. Lots of in through the nose, out through the mouth. Now, most advanced, if we've started to master that, we can start to incorporate what's called a cobra, or like a scorpion movement here. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually, as I rotate my body, the foam roller moves across the side of the thighs. Now, what makes this particularly uncomfortable is, so most of the foam rolling we've been doing has been running the length of the muscle up and down. But those muscles and that fascia can actually get glued together a little bit. So this movement can kind of unglue those muscles a little bit if they get stuck laterally. Again, this is not the direction. So generally speaking, when you're massaging something, you want to run the length of how the muscle runs. But this is if to take it a little more advanced. So this isn't something you would start with. But however, if you've been having a lot of problems with your hips and trying to figure out how to open things up, this is a good one. All right, y'all. Coach Wood saying know better, do better, feel better. Peace.